Aloha everyone, I'm Lotus Sattva, and my son Finn is turning 21 on October 2nd, and I'm rallying support for him to go to a very special massage school in Kauai called the Pacific Center for Awareness and Bodywork, PCAB, which starts in January. PCAB specializes in trauma-informed therapy, which will both support Finn's ability to launch an economically viable career helping others and provide a much-needed immersive healing experience for Finn. Finn has been on a healing path for PTSD for many years. He's always been a sensitive soul, and losing his relationship with his father at a young age due to addiction has been an ongoing challenge. He was also involved in a teen gun incident in high school that made another traumatic impact on his psyche. Where some kids act out, Finn was an internalizer, turning to different forms of escape that ultimately led to his own battles with addiction. Like many people, the pandemic exacerbated Finn's pain, and we struggled as a family to get him support, investing what we could into holistic treatments as much as possible. Ultimately, our family pulled our limited resources together, and we were able to get a partial scholarship for him to go to a $60,000 wilderness therapy program in Utah in early 2022. For 3 months, Finn slept under a tarp and ate food cooked on a fire with a group of men in recovery while growing his physical and psychological capacities, backpacking, rock climbing, and exploring his inner landscape. This natural approach to healing and rites of passage was a profound catalyst for Finn and shifted him from complete isolation during COVID to a positive path of growth and development. Since completing wilderness therapy 18 months ago, Finn has completed a yoga teacher training, did a permaculture apprenticeship, worked for an organic nursery and land care company, worked as a commercial mushroom grower, started cultivating his own medicinal mushrooms, and has been developing his own income opportunities in Hawaii, including doing airport shuttles and landscaping. Now, at age 20, Finn lives a healthier lifestyle than most people, never touching alcohol, eating a primarily vegan diet, meditating, and working out daily. Finn has been work trading as the logistics manager for our fledgling retreat center, Hive Hawaii, for the last year, and he is committed to continuing to grow a career helping others that is in alignment with his values. Finn has already raised the majority of the $15,000 PCAB tuition on his own, but moving to Kauai and being able to make ends meet while he's focusing on school and healing his PTSD is another daunting expense. He has been living rent-free and driving my car while supporting Hive. My hope is that I'm able to raise enough money to buy him a vehicle and tools that he can use to continue doing freelance work in Kauai, as well as a little financial cushion for him to supplement his earnings during his intensive 6 months of training. My goal is to raise $30,000 or support getting him a loan for us to be able to buy him a newer car. But by a minimum, we need at least $10,000 to support him to move without stress. Kauai is expensive, with 1 bedrooms renting for over $2,000 a month in the area near his school. We hope he is able to find something more affordable and potentially a work trade, so any referrals you have are much appreciated. Of course, this alternative career training isn't eligible to receive student loans and other financial aid, despite being a much faster career path than university, so Finn is primarily on his own. Our family already spent the limited resources we had supporting his healing process in recent years. Now, suddenly, I'm even more limited in my ability to support as I unexpectedly lost my main source of income this month, on top of having much lower demand for my retreat center than is sustainable. I've been a self-employed solo single mom for most of the last 21 years, focused on family and purpose over capitalism and wealth. When I was pregnant at 20, I remember channeling this affirmation for my choice. Rather than competing for my spot on the pyramid, I will be a mother as nature intended. I have been intuitively guided to move to Kauai when I was pregnant with Finn, but it took me 14 long years of struggling as a mostly single mom before I had the courage and resources to make the leap. Kauai was undeniably destined to be a powerfully healing place for Finn. He had been struggling with video game addiction as a young teen. Addiction is inherited, after all. But when we moved to an off-grid cabin surrounded by nature, he stopped doing video games immediately, and we began to see signs of his path as a healer developing. Finn experienced bullying throughout his childhood and was definitely a smart kid earning decent grades, but was never inspired by traditional schooling. He experienced significant trauma with peers while he was in high school, including exposure to guns, violence, self-harm, substance abuse, and betrayal that exacerbated his risk factors. In 10th grade, Finn expressed that he had a panic attack every time he went to school and begged me to do something different. With encouragement from a counselor, I agreed to let him homeschool, and within the first month, he spent his own money buying himself books on topics like Chinese medicine, herbalism, meditation, and shamanism. He developed a daily meditation and yoga practice at age 16 and started doing nutritional cleansing, eating a primarily raw vegan diet, and fasting. At age 16, Finn saved up money, working his first job doing the door at Ecstatic Dance, smudging people as they arrived, and decided to use his money to go to South America to study and volunteer with indigenous wisdom keepers. He started making special herbal tea blends that were a big hit at my events and even facilitated meditations for groups of adults. At 17, Finn went to work on a CBD hemp farm in Oregon and soon started earning enough money to contribute toward rent. Finn has been on a really good path of personal and collective healing for a long time. He is a very sensitive being, though, and when the pandemic hit, it was incredibly difficult for him, leading to the healing crisis I described above. Healing from PTSD is one of the hardest paths for anyone at any age, and it makes competing in capitalism incredibly difficult, hence so many vets and other homeless living on the street because of inadequate support in the U.S. My goal is to help minimize the financial stress for Finn to fully heal and complete his training as a healer.